Bernard Sanders is an American politician and activist who is the senior United States Senator from Vermont. Born September 8, 1941, age 83 years, Brooklyn, New York, United States. Office: Senator VT since 2007. Spouse: Jane Sanders, M. 1988. Deborah Sherling Messing, M. 1964 to 1966. Previous offices: Representative, VT at-large district, 1991 to 2007. Mayor of Burlington, 1981 to 1989. Education: The University of Chicago, 1960 to 1964. Brooklyn College, 1959 to 1960. James Madison High School, 1956 to 1959. Height: 1.83 meters. Early life: Bernard Sanders was born on September 8, 1941, in the Brooklyn borough of New York City. His father, Elias Ben Yehuda Sanders, 1904 to 1962, a Polish-Jewish immigrant, was born in Slopness, a town in Austrian Galicia that was then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and is now in Poland. Elias Sanders immigrated to the United States in 1921 and became a paint salesman. Bernie's mother, Dorothy Sanders, née Glassberg, 1912 to 1960, was born in New York City. He is the younger brother of Larry Sanders. Sanders says he became interested in politics at an early age due to his family background. In the 1940s, many of his relatives in German-occupied Poland were murdered in the Holocaust. Sanders lived in Midwood, Brooklyn. He attended elementary school at PS 197, where he won a borough championship on the basketball team. He attended Hebrew school in the afternoons and celebrated his bar mitzvah in 1954. His older brother Larry said that during their childhood, the family never lacked food or clothing, but major purchases, like curtains or a rug, were not affordable. Sanders attended James Madison High School, where he was captain of the track team and took third place in the New York City indoor 1-mile race. In high school, he lost his first election, finishing last of 3 candidates for the student body presidency with a campaign that focused on aiding Korean War orphans. Despite the loss, he became active in his school's fundraising activities for Korean orphans, including organizing a charity basketball game. Sanders attended high school with economist Walter Block. When he was 19, his mother died at age 47. His father died 2 years later, in 1962, at age 57. Sanders studied at Brooklyn College for a year in 1959 to 1960 before transferring to the University of Chicago and graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science in 1964. In later interviews, Sanders described himself as a mediocre college student because the classroom was boring and irrelevant, and said he viewed community activism as more important to his education. Personal life: In 1963, Sanders and Deborah Sherling Messing, whom he met in college, volunteered for several months on the Israeli kibbutz Sha'ar HaAmakim. They married in 1964 and bought a summer home in Vermont. They had no children and divorced in 1966. His son, and only biological child, Levi Sanders, was born in 1969 to then-girlfriend Susan Campbell Mott. On May 28, 1988, Sanders married Jane O'Mara Driscoll, née Mary Jane O'Mara, who later became president of Burlington College, in Burlington, Vermont. The day after their wedding, the couple visited the Soviet Union as part of an official delegation in his capacity as mayor. They own a row house in Capitol Hill, a house in Burlington's new North End neighborhood, and a lakefront summer home in North Hero. He considers Jane's 3 children, Dave Driscoll, born 1975, Karina Driscoll, born 1974, and Heather Titus, née Driscoll, 1971, to be his own. Sanders' elder brother, Larry, lives in England. He was a Green Party county councillor, representing the East Oxford Division on Oxfordshire County Council, until he retired from the council in 2013. Larry ran as a Green Party candidate for Oxford West and Abingdon in the 2015 British general election and came in 5th. Bernie Sanders told CNN, "I owe my brother an enormous amount. It was my brother who actually introduced me to a lot of my ideas. Early career, political activism. Sanders later described his time in Chicago as the major period of intellectual ferment in my life. While there, he joined the Young People's Socialist League, the youth affiliate of the Socialist Party of America, and was active in the civil rights movement as a student for the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. Under his chairmanship, the university chapter of CORE merged with the university chapter of the SNCC. In January 1962, he went to a rally at the University of Chicago Administration Building to protest University President George Wells Beadle's segregated campus housing policy. At the protest, Sanders said, "We feel it is an intolerable situation when Negro and white students of the university cannot live together in university-owned apartments." He and 32 other students then entered the building and camped outside the president's office. After weeks of sit-ins, Beadle and the university formed a commission to investigate discrimination. After further protests, the University of Chicago ended racial segregation in private university housing in the summer of 1963.